If you look at the blue box has dimensions of 2x and x. The green box has dimensions of 1 and x. The orange box is 2 and 2x, and the pink is 1 and 2. And it makes sense too if you look at it, because this particular rectangle has the same dimensions from here to here as this one. Here, right? So it's basically like they took a rectangle, chopped it into 4 pieces, and then just kind of separated it out a little bit. Okay? So far so good? All right. The instructions say, write the sum of the areas of the rectangles as a polynomial in simplest form. So area is defined as whatever the length is times whatever the width is in a quadrilateral. And you would say these are all 4-sided shapes, also known as quadrilaterals, right? You also see area is equivalent to base times height, because some quadrilaterals aren't rectangles. Anyways, so let's do the first one. If I multiply 2x times x, what do I get, guys? 2x squared, yep. 2 times 1 is 2. X times x is x squared. Let's do the next one. 1 times x, duh. X? How about the orange? 2 times 2x, what's the result? Yes, ma'am. And last one, 1 times 2, 2. The question says, write the sum of the area of the rectangles as a polynomial in simplest form. So sum. So we're going to start with here, 2x squared. I'm going to go on to the next one, x. And that one. And last. Okay, has this been simplified though? In other words, are there any like terms that can be combined? If so, what are they? Good deal. If I combine x with 4x, guys, what do I get? Yes. Which means this is the simplified version of that. If you give me this, I have to mark it wrong because the book says simplify it. Simplify means make sure anything that is like gets combined. We'll do number 3 as well, just to give you one more chance to practice this. And I will again sketch a professional rendering of your book. Okay, the green is x and 3x, the blue is 1 and x, the purple is 1 and 1, and the yellow is 1 and 3x. Okay, let's do the green one first. What's the product of the green one, class? Good, thank you. And how about for blue, everybody? Uh-huh. Yellow. 3x. 3x times 1. And how about purple? Okay. It wants the sum of everything. So we'll just write it out. 3x squared plus x plus 3x plus 1. Can this be simplified? If so, how and what? Which gives you what? The sum of 3x and 1x? Good job. Something like that look good? This is your answer. This is not simplified. Okay. We're going to briefly review consecutive integers and consecutive odd even. The rules associated with them. Consecutive integers is basically numbers in a row, right? You know, it can be 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, dot. But if I don't know what they are and I define the first one as x, then what's the second one going to be? And last in this particular group? Yes. You just increase it by 1 every time for the ones that are in a row. And if I say the sum of these, it's going to be those items only added together. Okay? Consecutive odd or even is every other, right? So every other. So here, skip. Next, skip. Every other. It could be odds, meaning 1, 3, 5. Keep going in that same fashion. Or it can be evens, 2, 4, 6, continuing in that fashion. In order to make every other happen and you start with x, you simply add 2 or 4 or 6 or 8 to continue to get consecutive odd or evens. Because no matter what you start with, by adding 2, 4, 6, and 8, you stay odd. If you start with 4, by adding 2, 4, 6, 8, you stay even. And the sum of those items can be expressed by taking the variable representations that we made here and adding them together. That would be the sum of them. Product would be multiply, right? If I said something about product, we're not going to talk about that though. Let's look at number 5. Go ahead and take a look at it while I flip. 2 consecutive integers whose sum is the square of 7. So is it consecutive integers or consecutive odd or even? Integers, consecutive integers. And how many of them are they looking for? 2 of them. How will we name them using the variable x? X and? Very good. I'm too cold to turn the heat off, sorry. Okay. Find 2 consecutive integers. Okay, we've done that. Whose sum is? How do I make these 2 have a sum? Add them together. Whose sum is. Okay, so sum is the square of 49, the square of 7, and I just gave it away. What's the square of 7, everybody? 49. Lee about threw something at me. Okay. Can we solve this now? Because the 7 squared is 49. Sure we can. Combine like terms. What am I going to do with the 1, guys? Subtract it. And I am just going to shorthand this because if I remove the 1, don't I end up like this? Very good. 2 x's is 48. I don't want to know what 2 of them is. I want to know what 1 of them is. So what will I do with the 2? Cut it in half. That makes cut the 48 in half gives me 24. That means the first one is 24. If you tell me x is 24, I'm going to mark it wrong. Lee, why am I going to mark it wrong? Good. So 24 is the first one. What's the next one, everybody? 25, good. 24 plus 1. There's your numbers. Number 7 is no different as far as the thinking process. So let's work through that one. Go ahead and take a look at it. Four consecutive integers. Still consecutive integers, not odd, not even. Whose sum is twice the cube of 5.
I need the varsity boys basketball team to the gym at this time. Thank you.
So let's write out 4 consecutive integers. Let's use n. Starting with n. If n is the first one, what's the second one? Next. And last. Good. The story states, find 4 consecutive integers, I've done that, whose sum, all right, n plus 1, n plus 2, n plus 3, whose sum, that means add, whose sum is twice the cube of 5. How am I going to figure out what twice the cube of 5 is? 2 times whatever 5 cubed is, right? You got to do 5 cubed first. 5 times 5 times 5. It's not 5 times 3. It's 5 times 5 times 5. Double that. What do I get? 250, right? So twice the cube of 5 is 250. Should we collect our n's? Looks like 4n plus 6. Am I right? Okay. Thank you. What am I going to do with the 6, guys? Subtract it. What am I going to do with the 4? Divide. If you tell me the answer is 61, I'm going to mark it wrong. The rest of the answer includes the other integers. N plus 2, N plus 3. If you do not give me the entire list, however many numbers there are, it's wrong. Last one. This is number 9. This is the last one I'm going to work on with you guys. The greater of 2 consecutive integers is 10 less than twice the smaller. So what am I discussing? Apples, odd numbers. What am I discussing? 2 consecutive integers. So how about y and y plus 1? Which of these is bigger? Has to be. It doesn't matter what y is, y plus 1 is bigger. No matter what, if you add 1 to something, it's bigger. Okay? Now look at what the statement says. The greater of 2 consecutive integers is. Let's just write that. The greater of 2 consecutive integers is. What will I write? Y plus 1 is. What's is? Equals. Good. Okay. The greater of these 2 is 10 less than twice the smaller. 10 smaller than twice this. 10 smaller than double the little one. 10 less than twice the smaller. To solve for y, collect all of your y's on one side. I am going to maneuver my y's to the right because then I will have a positive value for y and I won't have to flip it. Add 10 to both sides. And it looks like the first number is 11. If the first number is 11, what's the second one? Good. Okay. Number 10 is the exact